Good morning, everyone. How are the interviews this morning?
Yours is going to be the best.
I know you've been
We've
waiting.
been saving up. We've been saving up.
I thank you, and that'll be in the promo, by the way. Amy, I'm going to start with you because I'm such a huge fan. Not that I'm not a fan of but now I've embarrassed myself in the very first question. But my God, starring in judging Amy and taking the mantle of the title character and all that. Is it old hat for you to star in a series, or is everything all new again?
No, I mean, Mary was totally new to me. And I think also, I loved having my own show. I don't ever really want to do it again. It was really, really hard. So and also the 22 episodes for 6 years while I'm giving birth to children situation. So I love this kind of thing. I love the streaming model where you can really read the beginning, middle, and end and really craft it. I think that's something that you don't really get to do. You don't get to do when you're on a network show because you're seeing it in chunks and sometimes just episode by episode. But this is really looking at it like a movie, like a play. You know where you're going to end up.
It's like a book, really, because you've got your chapters. Hamish John is a very, very interesting character. What layers this guy has! It's so well written, by the way.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely why I was desperate to do it. I wanted those layers. You don't every day get a chance to be a guy who's got so many different sides. So it was a real thrill.
Amy, every once in a while, a show comes on, a piece of art that comes on with a perfect cast, where everybody is so perfect in their roles. And this is one of those rare times.
Yeah, I think that too. I mean, watching it, the other thing, I mean, that's all Harriet too. I mean, we can take some credit, but what I noticed when I finally saw the show put together, honestly, it reminded me of Heat, of the movie Heat I did, in that there's quite a number of people and each one is indelible. Each one, nobody's a throwaway, nobody's a filler, nobody's just there for plot. And that's really Harriet sort of building out this world, with this trio at the center, but like they are in a well-established world.
Am I like the Pacino or am I like the Kilmer?
Maybe like the Hank Azaria, like the weird guy who has like a liquor store. I think that's where I would put you.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would say the Hank Azaria is more apt.
And you were the Diane Venora of the picture?
Yeah, I was in that movie.
And I'm the bald bartender in every picture. It is so much fun to talk to you, and I did want to talk to you about dancing in Nepal, but we're probably not going to get to it. So
I assume that was for me, unless Hamish also have participated in that. No, okay.
Well, we should go dancing in Nepal someday. Anyway, congratulations on Tell Me Your Secret. It is so well written. It is an amazing show, and what an amazing cast, and congratulations.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Tony.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so not used to Zoom, and I don't want to get used to it.
I'm not used to Zoom either. I was just informed half of my head was cut off for the last 10 interviews. So you're not the only one.
They can digitally add a hat, and I'm sure it'll look fine.
There you
go. Before I begin, Lily, I wanted to tell you just how much of a fan of your mother's I was.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, what an actress, both on stage and on camera. What just effortless actress.
Thank you. I agree with you.
And you follow in her footsteps beautifully. I know that you're from the theater, from the stage, and I guess when you're acting in front of a camera, you're using a whole different set of muscles because in one, you're playing to the back of the arena, with the camera, you're playing up close. Is that true?
Yes and no. I think something, and in this show, certainly, I would say that this was the case that, as you're saying, when there's no close-ups when you're doing a play. But something that I love so much about the theater is that you don't have any choice but to sort of act into your fingertips. And I love that really felt like the case doing this show and with this group of actors, and certainly playing this part where her physicality, both sort of in the past and in the present, it was such a part of, it always is to me, but it was such a particularly strong part of preparing for the role and playing the part. And so I love that. And I do find that can be a sort of wonderful through line between theater and film, actually.
Enrique, how about you? Your character, Pete, I mean, what layers this guy has.
Yeah, he does. When I first started acting, I called up, a family member of mine who's also an actor. And I said, I asked him for some advice, and he said something to me that I'm not sure if he was making fun of me or having fun with me or just, poking fun at me, but he was like, don't ever let them catch you acting. Mm-hmm. And with this particular role, it was very hard. It was very hard to constantly live in that place, in that sort of emotional dovetail that I had to be in pretty much, for the run of the shoot. So I did my best to not let them catch me acting.
We're kind of so short of an interview this morning, but I do want to mention the fact that, every so often a show has a perfect cast, and this is an absolute perfect. Everyone is right for their roles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for saying that. We really loved one another. I loved working with this cast so much.
And your crew, by the way, has to be the same, exactly who they should be, for the set.
They really were. It was a special crew, it was a special cast. Everything about this project was very, very unique and very special. We're lucky to be a part of it.
Well, it's a privilege to talk to you both. Congratulations on Tell Me Your Secrets, an amazing show, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Tell Me Your Secrets is really got so many layers to it. I'll start with Ashley. Is that what brought you to the series? Was those layers?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first read episode 1, that was all I got to see in the beginning, and I was immediately intrigued. And then in speaking to Harriet, who created the series, she kind of gave me a peek at the complexities and the direction it would be taken, and I was excited to explore those.
Kiara, tell me a little bit about Rose. I mean, she seems to be really at the center of everything.
Oh, yes. Rose is a pretty interesting gal. What is there to say? She has a lot of different layers and a lot of different things going on. And I think that watching her evolution and watching her come to terms with who she is as a human being and the mistakes that she's made in her past and in her future are all a really interesting thing to play and to be part of and to watch unfold over the course of the show, which is wonderful.
Both of you have grown up basically on sets. That's got to be a huge education, is growing up, doing this.
Yeah, I think that I never view myself as someone who grew up on set, because I wasn't allowed. My parents didn't allow me to have any professional gigs until I was 16. And at the grand old age of 16, I then felt that I was obviously completely grown up. I wasn't. I think that, yeah, you learn life experience, and acting's a job that you only get better at by doing more of it. So I think those are the things. The thing I learned the most on set is improving my craft and learning from other actors and directors.
Kiara, will you be directing and producing?
Oh, yeah, I would love to. I think that's something I would consider in the future. I love the other side of the works as well, which I think is wonderful. I was just going to add really quickly, back to your question for Ashley, which I think was wonderful. I'm just going to say 2 words and then I'll be quiet, I promise. I think I learned the most about myself as an actress, about who I want to be in the world, about the woman I want to become through this project. And I watch myself every day taking things and memories that I learned from this and using them. I did a lot of my scenes with Lily, and I still see myself taking patterns and watching her take charge and
be such an amazing woman and actress on set, and I try and, you know, take those lessons and learn from them every day. And the project I'm currently working on, I see myself, I'm like, wait, where did that come from? And I'm like, oh, I know where that came from. Which is really interesting.
It shows because in a production like this, where you have, you know, a big entourage of people, you stand out in both of your roles, because I think it goes back to theater training. You know, I know Ashley has a lot of it. I'm not sure if you've been on live stage or not, but it does show that you're involved in your character.
For sure.
I think that there aren't any small parts when you're an actor. I think the part is as small as you allow it to be. If you invest fully in that character and are living in that character truthfully, then it won't feel like a small part, and it won't feel like an insignificant day on set.
Yeah, that's true. There's no small parts, just small paychecks. So, ladies, it is such a pleasure to talk with you and meet you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
I bet working with William H. Macy was an education.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's so, he's just such, I mean, you see the character of Frank in Shameless and you automatically detest him, but then offset, he's just such a sweetheart. He walks around set carrying his ukulele, playing songs. Like, he's just the polar opposite of Frank. But yeah, a lot to learn. He was so cool to work with.
And then jumping into Tell Me Your Secrets, you know, there's a whole different pace to this.
Yeah.
That's both, you know, a little gothic, a little, you know, there's a little bit of horror in it, and it's a terrifying premise, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about Jake.
Wow. Jake is, well, first of all, he's the son of Mary, and also the brother of Teresa, who is, sort of the focal point, for Mary. You know, Teresa went missing and we're trying to find her. And in trying to find her, we open up this organization, in an attempt to not only find her, but find other missing persons. But Jake is devoted to his family and devoted to his mom. And I think he has a really great sense of what is right and what is wrong, and tries to be as helpful and hands-on as he possibly can. I think the trust means a lot more to him than we get to see.
I think that carries through. The writing in this is just amazing. It is so, I keep wanting to say using the word crisp, but it's we've never seen anything like this before, really.
Yeah.
I imagine, you know, every once in a while a cast is absolutely perfect for their roles. This is one of those times.
Yeah, for sure.
Amy Brenneman is gotta be a joy to work with.
Oh my God. Yeah. She's incredible. I learned so much from her. Just in those passing moments and scenes we had together, in conversations we had outside of work. She is truly just a veteran. Like, she knows what she's doing, and she's just so hands-on and so invested in the character and the story. It was awesome to work with her. I would love to either get a second season and work with her again, or work with her on some other project. She's just awesome.
You know, being that you are in this business, you know, and you're still so very young, are you looking at things with an eye to direct and produce?
Oh man, I haven't thought about that. I think more for me, I'm on the side of storytelling. If I were to ever sort of get on the other side of that, I would more be invested in writing rather than producing or directing. My brother's a director, so I feel very confident that I could just hand him a script and he would have the perfect vision that he does and make it into something really fantastic. But yeah, for me, I think I would be more invested in writing.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you virtually. And listen, Tell Me Your Secrets is just a dynamite show, and people should not miss it. So
thank you so much.
Well, Harriet, thank you so much for your time this morning. What a devilishly clever series this is.
Thank you so much. That's lovely.
As the creator, writer, executive producer, all of that, I mean, where did the idea spring from?
I was always really fascinated by relationships, and that idea that you could live with someone, love them, and not know a huge truth about them. And I found that really, really exciting to explore in the show. The idea of could you ever have true intimacy without true knowledge? And I think that's the question I really want to explore in the show. Not just our sort of main story, but all the characters asking that of themselves as well.
As a fan of literary horror and thrillers and things like that, as I was watching the very first couple of episodes, there was something very Poe-ish about this, Edgar Allan Poe-ish.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. To be honest, my sort of history, I think my DNA goes to those places and those writers, and I have an absolute love of that period, and as I say, those writers. So I think, inevitably put these characters with this story in that setting, and you do get atmosphere immediately. And that's what I would think of when I think of Edgar Allan Poe, just that wonderful way to set a chill upon your spine. Thank you.
And yet the writing is so crisp and so eloquent. It is just a beautifully laid out story, and one episode makes you want to hop to the next episode. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. I mean, I think the way I write is I'm forever having to cut things out because there isn't, the space for it. But I'm so demanding of what I love, and I'm so demanding of my work that is the feeling you described, Tony, is what I want our audience to have. It's like, oh God, okay, I'm just going to do another one. We think we have a kind of an addictive show that you will just want to sort of binge, hopefully. But thank you.
As the head of the whole production and the creator, what kind of headaches are you having? I mean, are there any?
Well, I think making a show like that had a lot of challenges in terms of the physical production. I mean, Louisiana is a wonderful, wonderful place, but it gives you certain challenges. But I think, there is the pressure. There's the pressure of delivering. And I had a lot of the show. I always knew where I would end it. And I kind of knew the midpoint. But getting to that ending when the clock is running down and making it satisfying, and just not letting our audience down or our cast, everyone involved was very demanding that this be the best it could be. So, those challenges give you headaches, definitely.
It is, like I said, it is such a beautifully structured show. Very, people are fans of Gothic, they're fans of terror and horror and all of that. It really is a multi-layered production.
Thank you, Tony. That's literally, those are my ambitions. I wanted characters that were all of them to be compelling, and all of them to provoke reactions in us, but that we would also oscillate in our reactions to them and be surprised. I mean, I really do think that as a viewer, I don't want to see things coming. I don't want to guess endings. I want to be surprised. And I think, those were certainly the challenges I set myself. So it's lovely to hear your response.
Harriet, it is a pleasure to meet you and chat with you, and congratulations
Thank you, Tony,
on everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.